Manny, are you having any fun fan interactions out there? Kind of the city getting behind the games?
Only sitting in traffic on US 1. I don't. We're not really out and about very much.
Right.
So between my commute home and back every day, I don't get a lot of chance to interact with fans.
What does it mean to be number 2? Does it make a difference being number 3 or number 2? For the fans, it's a big deal. How about for you?
I can't see how it does. I think the only thing that matters is that we've earned the right to control our own destiny, and the only thing we can do to that end is beat Pitt on Friday. And I don't. Maybe behind closed, I don't sense the players talking about it a whole lot. I mean, I think everybody's just kind of worried about Pitt.
Manny, what's that feel like to be at this point of the season and be in the situation that you just described? I don't believe you've been in that situation as a coach.
Not since I was a GA at Florida State.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you cherish it. I think it's one of the things you try to explain to players. You know, our career as coaches is much longer than theirs as players, and we are in such a special territory. It is hard to get to Thanksgiving undefeated, and so you want to make sure that you're doing everything in terms of your preparation to continue to improve, you know, and that's the thing. We still have a chance to get better and play better, and I think the guys get that.
Why is it so hard to be undefeated? Can you talk about the pressure as it mounts each week? What is it that makes it? It's something not many teams have done.
Yeah, I don't think it's about pressure. It's just we're a very unique sport where you have to win all your games for the most part, right? And it's hard. It's hard to be at your best every day. It's hard to be at your best every weekend. No matter any line of work you're in. And so we have certainly had games, including last Saturday, where we've not been at our best. But it is a skill. When you can win when you're not at your best, that's no small skill. And that comes down to the toughness and persistence that our team plays with. And usually champions have that. I mean, you have to have that because you're never going to be at your best every day.
In the first half against Virginia, what was happening with their quarterback?
It was a combination of, he was playing outstanding. When we were covering him, he was putting it on the money. And then I think we had an obvious lack of focus. And we're cutting guys loose and doing things that were out of character for us. We hadn't given up a long touchdown since the Toledo game. We gave up 4-1 game. So obviously that was not representative of Miami Hurricane football. Suddenly we kind of locked in. And from that point on, really, did a great job. So I think it was a great lesson for our players in terms of how did we prepare? The question they can only ask themselves: did we prepare any differently? Did we have the same passion? But on the flip side, you respect the heck out of them because they have the mental toughness to turn it around, and to not panic, and to go on a 30-0 run to finish the game.
Do you see any difference between their quarterbacks, or no? I don't think they've really committed yet to who they're going to.
We expect to probably see both. I mean, out of their mouths, they've talked about Pickett being the better passer. But in terms of what they run offensively and their package, I think both guys are capable of executing what they want to be able to do.
Andy, with the development of Jonathan Garvin, what have you seen throughout the season? Also, kind of building for his future as he continues to play. Well,
certainly he's very talented, and having a guy like Coach Kulagowski to work with him every day is a great teacher, right? Becoming more familiar in the defense, where you can play faster. Not just on a go-get-him pass rush situation, but just understanding the down after down mechanics of playing defensive end and all the different calls. Because we always say you have to earn the right to rush the passer. No different than like Joe Jackson a year ago. You have the skill, but we got to get him into long yard situations where we make him pass. And the great thing about Neo is that he's very intelligent. He's very serious about his craft. He was that way when we were recruiting him, and a guy that really wants to be better every day.
Manny, when you look at Pittsburgh, obviously, Mark talked on it yesterday. Their senior day, their last game. How dangerous is it when a team is just going in there, to maybe play the role of spoiler, finish their season on a high note by beating an unbeaten team and all of that? How much psychologically does that come into play a little bit?
Well, for us, our psyche hopefully is worried about us. And I think as we saw last week, when we play well, right, we play pretty good. This league, it obviously is a league of competitive close games. Okay, so Pitt has however many wins they have. They lost in the last week at Virginia Tech. They lost very close to North Carolina. I mean, there's so many games that came down to a possession that could have gone the other way, where now they're in a different boat. So you see it every week in our league. Most of these games are one-score games. So, they can be a good team with a bad record. So, once we introduce them, we understand what their strengths are and how they try to attack us. We really spend the rest of the week getting our preparation, our passion to play, because that's what we can control. We can't control Pitt's mindset. We can control ours.
The last 2 weeks you've had a pick six in each game, and it seemed to turn things around.
Right.
Momentum. Talk about that.
Well, yeah, we were in a dry spell. We hadn't scored all year until the last 2 weeks. What that does for the entire team. Obviously, turnovers are big, but when you can score on defense and the way that demoralizes the other team. Especially proud of Jaquan's last week because it was in a situation where we certainly needed it. But again, you got to give credit to Kendrick Norton. That's the one you don't see. Kendrick Norton's the guy that pressures the quarterback, probably makes him throw it before he wants to, not quite as accurate as he wants to, and allows Jaquan to make the play. So, obviously we've been an opportunistic defense all year, and we've been trying to coach up on how to score on defense, and it's great to be able to help out our offense with that.
Can you talk about defensive, just all the attention you guys are getting, your awards, their awards, the turnover chain. The offensive players oftentimes get more of the attention on this team. The defensive players and you are getting a lot of attention. Can you just talk about that?
Well, we have a great relationship with our offense, and we have a great team. I think you see that the way that we play. We have each other's backs. Our feeling for the entire defense, coaches, players alike, is any attention any one of us gets is attention for all of us. Any accolades any one of us gets is an accolade for all of us. So when Jaquan wins DB of the week, to me that goes to Kendrick Norton for hurrying that throw on the pick six. So that's the way we are as a coaching staff. We're blessed with an unbelievable coaching staff all the way down to our quality control and GAs, and it's everybody on our team. We play a lot of guys. That's the greatest thing about coaching this defense is how many different guys play, how many different guys have a role, and how many different guys make a play. If you look at our sacks and our tackle for losses and how many guys have worn the chain this year, it's not just like these 4 guys. So to be able to share the wealth is really one of the main tenets of playing great unselfish defense, which in turn is great unselfish team ball.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you all.